kirtans, and powerful deliverings. So on this day of his appearance, the Vyasa Puja, it gives us the opportunity to remember some of those wonderful pastimes we have witnessed and continue to relish in our minds. We want to share with all the devotees here. So we are celebrating the 76th Vyasa Puja appearance of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja. So Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja ke? So in order to do this, we would invite His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, one of the Senya's disciples of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, to give us the meaning and importance of Vyasa Puja. So, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj will take a seat and explain to us the meaning and importance of Vyasa Puja to kick off the program. Before Maharaj begin to speak, we'd like to welcome all the devotees from all over the world who are here at the moment to participate in this program. Especially those who are here either for the first time or they have not been here for a long time and now they are with us here. So we'd like to welcome all of you, Acharya, Purana Prabhu, Acharya Purana Prabhu, from Nigeria, Mother Juna from Ghana. I think there are other mothers also who also came to Nigeria, but they are not here at the moment. Are they here? Wow. Marema Bhati, Mother Radharani, Mother Gandhari from Nigeria, they're all here. So we'd like to welcome all of them to this wonderful program. Thank you for coming. It makes the program wonderful. Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, you can.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisaya Bhutale Sibate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinamani. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Anirvise Swanya Badi Pasatya Disatari Panchakal Patari Byacha Kripasan Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So, I'm not worried to speak on this topic, but it's like an assignment, a service given to me. So, that becomes a responsibility. So, the technology, Vyasa Puja, is an it's a chance for the disciple. The very literal meaning of Vyasa means Srila Vyasa Dev, or the representative of Srila Vyasa Dev, the author of the literary incarnation of Krishna and the author of the Vedic literature. And the very concept of puja implies worship. And in the Gaudiya Vaishnava system, there are two major categories of worship: the Vapu and the Vani. A worship by serving the personality when they are on a planet. We worship also by carrying out instructions even when they are on planet, and especially when they are not physically available. The worship continues, but in the form of implementation and execution of their instructions. So yes, we do the worship of our different paraphernalias: incense, ghee-lamp, cloth, handkerchief, flowers, as part of the ceremony. That we will do that also today here. And the essential point is that the mentee or the disciple has an opportunity to reminisce the value of the spiritual master in their lives. And sometimes people tend to think it's an hero worship. Vyasa Puja is very difficult. The worship of the Guru, very difficult. How is it difficult? To execute the instructions of the spiritual master. Very, very difficult. And so, it's not so juicy the way we think. Because sometimes the spiritual master gives an instruction that you consider it completely beyond your jurisdiction. You can't function, you cannot do it. And people tell their guru like that sometimes. I remember several years ago, I don't want to mention the country, but a guru, an ISKCON guru came to the disciples' home, husband and wife, and then I went there to see the guru. So the guru apparently has given some instructions, but then the wife told the guru, Maharaj, we will not be able to do that. It's too difficult. So, and I've seen that even with our own spiritual master, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. He gave very difficult instructions to some people, and to execute it, it's a problem. I've seen that. And with all gurus, when they give instructions, sometimes the disciples, they do selective execution of instructions. I like this, I execute. I don't like this, no. The scripture says something different. Then they quote scriptures to back up why they wouldn't do that. But the actual puja, the actual pujari for the spiritual master is the one who takes everything hook, line, and sinker, without caring about the inconveniences the execution or the implementation of those instructions may impact on them. So it is difficult. If someone tells us it's not difficult, perhaps they've not received difficult instructions. So the devotees who are taking initiation, it's not a form fair. And therefore, on this day, we reflect on the value of the spiritual master in the life of the devotee. The basic the objective criteria of the spiritual master is to facilitate emancipation of the disciple from the clutches of samsara. And therefore, during initiation, we sign a contract, a spiritual contract. And sometimes, especially in countries outside of India, and even in India these days, sometimes even the basic vows we take during initiation are constantly being violated, being infringed upon. So this is where the whole thing lies. Now you sign a contract with somebody, legally speaking, you sign a contract with somebody, there are terms of contract. And it is binding on both parties. And so if a party does not act according to those terms of contract, they have violated the terms of contract. And the goal of that contract will not be achieved. So let's be clear. The goal of a guru-disciple relationship is to facilitate the emancipation of the disciple from the shackles of material incoherences, from material bondage. If we miss this point, then we risk having to take another life, another bet. And someone may say, well, I don't care. Good for you. So, today is a special day, and a number of devotees will be feeding us with some connections, some deep connections they have had with the spiritual master, instructions that may be difficult, and they were blessed to be able to execute by the mercy of the spiritual master. Now, let's take an example from Krishna's pastimes. What I'm talking about, that the instructions of the spiritual master could be sometimes very, very difficult to digest. But every instruction of the spiritual master is encapsulated with empowerment. This is my theory. This is my own theory from my experiential knowledge about the relationship. And I draw my inferences from the scripture. And first of all, you find Lord Krishna in relationship with Subal. Subal is one of Lord Krishna's intimate friends. One time they were in the grooves, and Krishna told Subal, hey, Subal, go and bring Radharani just now. It's like asking a hen to pass stool without water, which means most improbable. But Subal did not question Krishna. Hey, Buddhi, you know this is impossible. Why are you asking me to do this? No, he just zoomed out. He went. Without asking, without questioning Krishna. They are friends. Sometimes they argue. He could have argued with Krishna. Hey, Buddhi, you know this girl is always being guided by the mother-in-law. You asking me to do this? Is it reasonable? No, he didn't ask. At that time, he was not seeing Krishna as his friend. He was seeing his Krishna as the Param Guru. So he went out without asking. And as he was going, Krishna gave him the intelligence on how to implement and execute this instruction. And he was successful. And the case of Prabhupada is another typical example in our own lives. Prabhupada had nothing, no money. This guru told him, whenever you have money, print books in English and go and spread Krishna consciousness in the Western countries. He didn't question whether you think that is possible. Because another of Bhakti Siddhanta's disciples had questioned when he was reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted about how Westerners, whites, Americans, Europeans will come to Mayapur and dance in the streets. He was reading it, and Prabhupada was in that mandir that day. And as he was reading that Bhaktivinoda's text, he couldn't contain himself. This story was given to us by a senior disciple of Prabhupada, one of Prabhupada's Vyasa Pujas. Then he exclaimed, but how is this possible? And Prabhupada jumped in. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, at the time he was a so-called grihasta. Sometimes we minimize the grihastas. We're thinking, we're brahmacharis, we're sannyasis. Who are you? Prabhupada at the time was just a grihasta. And Prabhupada jumped in, interjected. And he said, if you cannot do it, someone else will do it. So, from these two inferences, we can concur that, yeah, the instruction of the spiritual master, and that person was Prabhupada. He came to the West with practically $0. He came to the West, established Krishna Consciousness, incorporated the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in New York at 26 Second Avenue. How many of you have been to 26 Second Avenue? It's one of our theaters. You should try to be there. It's there in New York. That's the birthplace of the Hare Krishna movement. So, to cut matters short, we need to be properly guided by and with the instructions of the spiritual master to make advancement in our spiritual life. And someone may say, well, I'm not very much close to the spiritual master to get direct instructions. That's another story. But for today, we have to understand that this worship of the spiritual master, for us right now, especially Bhakti Tirtha Swami's disciples, and those other disciples of other gurus whose gurus have departed from this mortal world, it means to reflect on the instructions and execute them. It's called Vani. Vani. There is a app of social, the academic platform, Vanipedia, Vani, to carry out the instructions of the spiritual master. That is the real worship, and it is difficult. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to participate in this program. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja ki jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaja ki jai. Actually, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj also received a very difficult instruction, but he did not mention that. Guru Maharaj told us, Bhakti Maharaj, at that time he was the temple president in Ibadan, that he should preach to the academia. And he should preach in the academic circles, which meant that he has to further his education in order to preach to the academia. Because the academia, if you're not at par with them, if you're not at the same level with them, they will not listen to you. They look down. It is a practice of the academic world. If you do not have a PhD, no PhD man will listen to you. So, at that time he was a simple brahmachari, just trying to find his roots in Krishna consciousness. And this instruction came. So he had to put away his managerial duties, go back to school, study, got a degree, got a master's program, and went on to do the PhD. So now he has a PhD in management science. And as a result of that, they are inviting to many, many universities across the world and is delivering Krishna consciousness to the academicians. So he told me how difficult it was to carry out that instruction when he had to do it. So as he said, Vyasa Puja is an opportunity for the disciples to reflect on the instructions that they have received from their spiritual master. Actually, it is said that if you're not ready to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, better you do not take initiation. As Maharaja said, these days, we take initiation as a fashion. Because others are taking, I also take. Others have spiritual names, I also get a spiritual name. Others have guru, I also have a guru. But it's beyond that. It means you are giving your life to the spiritual master, and whatever instruction he's going to give you, you will execute. So, this is the moment for us to reflect on some of the most important instructions that we have received from our spiritual masters. And by hearing from other devotees, we will get the strength to execute those instructions. So, Bhakti Maharaj, thank you very much for giving us this elaborate understanding of the meaning and importance of Vyasa Puja. We shall request those who are going to speak to sit on these chairs so they are closer to the microphone instead of them coming all the way. So if I'm taking your name, please, the ladies can sit on this side, the men can sit on this side, so they're closer to the microphone. So the next person to speak is His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is a disciple of His Holiness Dhira Swami Maharaj. But he was trained by Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj pushed him to take sannyas. Pushed him, he told me also, he didn't like the idea. But Maharaj said, you must take sannyas. So he says, he's taking sannyas because of the push of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He will always remember him wherever he is. So we would like to hear from Bhakti Maharaj about his relationship with Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Namine Namaste Gurani Pachavine Nivasesha Shinavadi Pasta Sadesatari. Hare Krishna. So I'm not gonna speak today. I just decided to write down something short as an offering to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. As Vasudev Maharaj was speaking about instructions, I remember when I was working with him also, he was very, very good at giving instructions that helps you to break away from your stagnation. And also when he was my GPC, he gave me a lot of instructions. That kind of later made me realize I was just stagnant. He was just kind of like giving me a push so that I can move or sail in this ocean of material existence. That was very, very good. I'm only realizing now after he departed that actually his push was very good for me. Otherwise, I would have not been sitting in front of you today. So let me share my offering with you. Happy Vyasa Puja to a great personality who was so much more than a mentor to me. You were my guiding star, my rock and father figure. Today, as the world celebrates the day you were born, I find myself overwhelmed with gratitude for the time I was privileged enough to spend under your guidance. I often find myself navigating tough decisions, and I hear your voice telling me, keep your, keep your chin up and focus on the solution, not the problem. The lessons you taught me, patience, integrity, and unconditional kindness have become the foundation of my life. You saw potential in my life. You saw, sorry, you saw potential in me when I could not see it in myself and pushed me to reach my heights I never dreamed possible. While my heart aches that I cannot call you today to wish you a happy Vyasa Puja in person, I know that your spirit continues to light my path. I promise to keep your legacy alive by sharing the wisdom you imparted to me and by striving to make you proud every single day. Thank you for everything, my dear mentor. Stay in peace knowing you have left indelible mark on my heart and the world. Your servant, Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj ki.
His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki. Sri Maharaj, he preaches in Brazil, in some part of Russia, South Africa, and some parts of South America. And I think a few weeks ago, he has taken the vow of Diksha Guru, and so he's going to start accepting disciples. I know he wouldn't like me to be advertising him, but I think it's necessary. So those who are aspiring, you can approach him, but be ready to follow Maharaja's instructions. He's a very strict, strong person. So if you want to take initiative from him, you must be ready to follow his instructions. Otherwise, he will drop you. Thank you, Maharaj. So at this point, I will invite Aravinda Daksha Prabhu, a disciple of Mayapur Swami, and the former president, right? Chairman of Islam Bahrain in the Arabian Gulf, is also GBC deputy, and so he wants to say a few words about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He has some other assignment to do, and so he will leave soon after this.
Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajakacara Ashtotadarshi Srimad Bhakti Tirtha Swami Krishna Pad Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. It was my good fortune to be at the lotus feet of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Many of you must be aware, like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was given the title of Bhagavad Pad, and Jayapataka Maharaj was known as Acharya Pad. And so our beloved Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was known and is still known as Krishna Pad. It was bestowed on him, Maharaj. I had the blessed association with Maharaj mostly whenever he was traveling in Vrindavan Dham and also in Mayapur while Maharaj was serving in the GBC. So we always get opportunity to get Maharaj association and his blessings. In fraternity of ISKCON, since I come from academic background, from international citizen, so he was known in the faculty of science and in management field as the highest African American ranking scholar and a spiritual leader in Africa in the fraternity of ISKCON. He was immaculately educated, and he was always sharing the platform, as Prabhu initially mentioned, with the leaders of the world, diaspora, management scholars, scientists, professor, emeritus professor, dean of the universities, and Maharaj was interacting with him. Even I remotely recollect in the international, the interfaith dialogue in United Nations when it was conducted. Bahrain, the Kingdom of Bahrain was the place where it was first inaugurated to bring all the civilizations close together and find a commonality in all the religions. And His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was invited under the UN Charter that time uh, in Bahrain. It was somewhere in 2004. And since Maharaj was not in position to travel and to come, but he delivered a very special speech and return note he sent to the King of Bahrain by the world leaders and the hierarchies and cardinals and archbishops of the Christianity, and they were all glorifying Maharaj services in Africa and many parts of the America, US. It was my good fortune that once it was in, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in 2001, it was at the Lotus Building where His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj resides. So His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj and some other GBC, they were having a meeting in his room. I was standing outside with my wife and my young daughter. We were standing to have darshan of Guru Maharaj. So the meeting finished and Maharaj just came out and had the opportunity to get his blessing, and he blessed and inquired about the family. And suddenly Japataka Maharaj, who's my Guru Maharaj also, so he just came out, and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was just getting down from the staircase. Japataka Maharaj looked at the clouds and he screamed and said, this is the color blue hue of Krishna. He repeated 2-3 times, and the wonders of the wonders, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj came running literally, and he hugged Jayapataka Maharaj and he said, Prabhupada already told many things, Maharaj. You are just saying that you can see the blue color of Krishna. His Holy, His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada has told us that two things he mentioned that time, that you can not only see the color of Krishna, but I know you can see Krishna Balram playing in the abode there. And secondly, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj added, he mentioned that once Srila Prabhupada here in Shidam Mayapur, uh, after the GBC finished and they were having a small gathering and they were just walking, Srila Prabhupada looked at the sky and he said, I could see Krishna Balaram. So everyone was stunned and all. Then Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, he called him and he said, do you know one more thing? So he said, no, Srila Prabhupada. So he said, this Jayapataka, he's standing here, he will not tell you, but he can also see. And Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj was the witness. He shared this to us. We had a blessed opportunity to serve for many times whenever Maharaj was here in Shidam Mayapur and Vrindavan. And he was always praying for us in the kingdom of Bahrain and Arabian Gulf for the preaching. He had been sending his many notes and good wishes and blessings to us. So we are indebted to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj for his unalloyed love, affection, and care he has given to all of us in Arabian world, in the Middle East countries. And he was always willing to help us and protect us. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Krishnapad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Aravinda Daksha Prabhu ke, Maharaja Swami Maharaj ke. So I think We will invite a lady now. We have to balance the equation. We invite a lady now to speak about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And we want to invite Hemambati Mataji, who served Guru Maharaj for many, many years as his personal secretary. We want her to share her realizations. Please sit on the chair so you can be comfortable. Please.
Haribo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Iti Namini Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Stadmani Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namini. My humble obeisances to all the gurus present, to the senior devotees, to the Matajis as well. Hare Krishna. My name is Hemavati Devidasi, and like you heard, I actually served His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj as his personal secretary and his personal cook till he passed. And it's difficult for me to say anything right now. So maybe
You can tell us one pastime.
okay, so let me just tell you one story. And actually, lots of them, but let me just say one, the one at the border. So, Srila Krishnapad, he's so selfless. He never cares about himself, he never bothers about himself. You know, he loves the devotees so much. Let me start with the women. I remember once we came to Mayapur, I think that was during proper centennial, and the regional secretaries were called to come up the altar to Radha Madhava. And it happened that I was the only female. I was really shocked. And that is one thing Srila Krishnapad always does, that women should not be relegated to the background because they are equally spirit souls. And he always tell you that Prabhupada never did that. Srila Prabhupada never did that. Jai. So on one occasion, we were traveling from Nigeria to Ghana. His Grace Prabhu Sri Vyasa was the regional secretary of Ghana then. And we were going there. He had arranged a lot of programs for him in Ghana. And we were to go with the car. Ghana is very far from Nigeria. How many hours from?
All day.
The full day. It's a whole full day. From morning, you arrive in Ghana late at night. And you have to go through like 3 borders, 3 different countries. So on this very occasion, Srila Krishnapad came with his laptop. And we had to declare it according to the devotee that was accompanying us, that we had to declare the laptop at the border. So when we got to the border, he took Krishnapad's laptop, he took it to the authorities, and the laptop never came back. It never came back. Meanwhile, the devotees in Ghana, they were, on Ketan, expecting Krishnapad was coming. And when we, so he now asked me to go and ask the devotees. So what had happened to the laptop? When I got there, he said their boss was not around. When the boss comes, he will sign the papers and we get the laptop to go. And that was like, let me say, at about 11:10, say 10, 11 in the morning. So we were there waiting for the bus to come. 11 past, 12 past, 1 p.m. past, the bus had not come. So I went back. Meanwhile, Srila Krishna wasn't even bothered about himself. He said, you and Suklam. Suklam, his grace, Suklam Baram was his driver, was his Garuda. So we're just 3 of us traveling in the car. Then he said, you and Suklam, you've not eaten anything. I said, Gurudev, we are not hungry. When we get to Ghana, we'll eat. We waited till 3, and then there was no telephone. This GSM, this mobile phone system was not there then. So we couldn't even contact Ghana to tell them that, look, we are stuck here. So we were there until at about 4, 5, the news came that they have closed, that the border was closed. And that was in Cotonou, just one part of the border outside Nigeria. We have not even gone anywhere. That was half. So that was like 1/10 of the journey. So they said he has closed, and so we started running around trying to see how we cannot keep Gurudev here. But somehow, Srila Krishnapa slept in that border. And do you know, he never really slept. At night, I was so worried. So how are we going to do this? Suklam came, and Krishnapa told Suklam, he said, because you are the one to drive, we have to get you a place to sleep. So I was not asking, Gurudev, what about you? He said, I will stand outside, and you, Himavati, you will sleep in the car. That's, as much as Krishnapad was selfless. But I couldn't do that. I couldn't sleep. So I told him, I said, Gurudev, you sit in the car. I'll get Suklam somewhere to sleep. So we went to the town, got him somewhere to sleep. Suklam went at about 2 a.m. Suklam came back. He said he cannot sleep. Gurudev was there all night. And devotees in Ghana, they were waiting for Gurudev. Somehow, His Grace, Abu Shiva, was able to communicate to someone at the border. I think that was how he heard we were stuck. So we were there till the next morning, and we couldn't also leave early. We left there, I think, at about 10, and we finally got to Ghana. And when he got to Ghana, he didn't sleep all night. He was awake, chanting. And because he wouldn't sleep, me too, I was just like dozing, but still I wouldn't sleep. Then when we got to Ghana, so as he came out of the vehicle, Srila Krishnapa was there with him, jumping and dancing and turning and rolling, The devotees were so ecstatic. They had missed him for that whole day. Krishnapad went on and on and on and on. I kept on imagining. So, his dynamism, and he had put that in a lot of his disciples. You see them hardly getting tired. So many things to say about Gurudev. Once during Prabhupada's appearance day, he called me and he said, Mavati, I'm going to do the cooking for my Gurudev today. And I asked, Gurudev, have you ever cooked? He was my father, my mentor, my teacher. I said, please, have you ever cooked? He said, I can't remember. So we went into the kitchen that was in Benin Temple. And I said, first thing first, I need to get you an apron. He said, do you mean it? I said, yes. He said, so how do you put it on? I showed him You put it on. Then I said, you know what? I said, it's going to be fun in this kitchen. I was just telling him, I said, it's going to be fun in this kitchen today. So I said, first you have to put on the gas. He said, how do you do that? You want to cook. So you have to start from the basis. You know, that's how simple he is. It's so simple. So he said, okay, show me. Chanakya Prabhu was the president then in Benin. So he was saying, why are you doing that? Why are you doing? I said, don't tell me. Guru said he wants to cook. So he has to start from the basis. So he said, okay, how do you put on the gas? So instead of bringing the lighter, I brought a matchbox. So as he struck the matchbox, the thing burnt his fingers. And he said, hey, Mama, why did you do this? I said, oh, Krishna Padi said you wanted to cook. Anyone cooking, you know, you face a lot of challenges when you cook. He said, so you do that. So I put on the gas and I said, then you have to cut the tomatoes, you know, you cut the cabbage. He held the knife and he held the cabbage. Then he told me, he said, am I going to put the knife like this or like that? And I told him, I said, that means this cooking here, Prabhupada will not eat until night. He said, why did you say that? He said, and I'm going to send you out of this kitchen. I said, if you send me out, Gurudev, then Prabhupada will not eat at all. So, you know, he's just like that. He's a father. Along the line, I just went, I cut, and then he said, cooking is not easy at all. I said, yes, it's not, but to eat it is very sweet. He said, I'm always very naughty. So if I want to keep talking, we keep talking on and on and on and on and on like that. Then anytime I finish, you know, cooking his meals and I bring it to him, after he has taken, while he's taking prasadam and I'm taking notes for him, he will always ask me to. So I miss him so much that, you know, I'm just trying, you know, to talk. I'm so emotional right now. And I want to say I love him and I'll continue to love him, continue to serve him, you know, till whenever. Shila Krishna Padaki. Haribo.
Thank you very much, Mangalacarana. I know you have many stories to give us, but time will not permit. So the devotees are requesting that those who are very close to Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, they should compile all those stories into a book. Otherwise, when we are gone, those stories are also gone. So, since you have such an intimate relationship with Gurudev, and you have so many pastimes with Guru Maharaj, we would urge you to begin to compile, if you've not started that. Compile all the wonderful pastimes, stories, experiences with Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, and make it a book, so that when you're no more on this plane, we are on another plane, those on this plane can have access to those stories. And actually it is a fact. All the disciples, we should be thinking like this, especially those who serve Gurudev very closely and had a lot of experiences with him. Do not keep those experiences to yourself. Put them down in writing, so that the future generations will get to know who Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is. It's a service. So at this point, we will call on Sujit Dhira Pramod. Sujit Dhira Pramod. Is he here? Sujit? No, he has not. He'll come back. Acharya is one of the oldest devotees in Nigeria. He served as the Senate president for many, many years. But now I think he's retired as the temple president. He's managing his business and he's on a seat and he's supporting the temple, supporting the movement. And so because of this program, he has come all the way from Nigeria to be part of this celebration. So we'd like to hear from Acharya Prandra Prabhu, who has done a lot for Guru Dev in Nigeria.
Hare Krishna. Shna Prabhupada ki jai. Shna Bhakti Tirtha ki jai. Well, speaking about Guru Maharaj, there are so many things to say, but we don't have time. But one of these things I want to mention, one of his greatest service in Nigeria is the television and media programs. Up to today, people are asking about him. In Nigeria, any of the television programs, radio programs you go, you see people asking about Bhakti Maharaj. Because there is bitter love and dynamism in preaching. He loved people, and because of that, people loved him. And he's very enthusiastic. And he's somebody that is so enthusiastic that you'll be inspired anywhere he is. In Nigeria, we want to tell Nigerians that Maharaj is a king. He's a Maharaj. The word Maharaj is a king. And he should properly be addressed as a king, properly presented as a king. That is how we present others. So when we want to go to the television program, we prepare an assam for him, the corrected assam. And we don't make him sit in the seat that we give him there. We carry the assam. It's big. We have to even hire a vehicle to carry it sometime when the car cannot carry. To the television program. Over there, he will sit in the ashram. And people will sit down beside him. And they will be fanning him. King. South African would like kings. So, because of that, people respected. And when he want to deliver his lectures, he go with a very nice smile. This smile will captivate everyone. This smile captivates everyone. I've never seen anyone that can actually smile like Shipam, but it's a Maharaj. Very wonderful smile. And by that smile, we capture the heart of everyone. During that period, television, the main outreach in Nigeria in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, if you want to reach the people, by television and radio programs. And we're doing it all over Nigeria and West Africa to India, to Ghana and all that. We're doing it very, very. So when you want to fight, you must include those programs. So it is also that same program that is doing it, that's what he used also. That's what I saw in Nigerian Krishna consciousness. One day in my sitting room, I was sitting there because I was actually searching for knowledge. I joined so many teams, so many spiritual society, but I was not satisfied, the churches and all that. So one day it was on that program, the television, and I was sitting and I was watching a very strange person very dynamic, with a very wonderful share, accent beside him. People were fanning him. It was so strange to me, very strange. And then I was needling. What is this person going to present? I was curious. Then I heard him presenting very wonderful lectures. Very, very, very wonderful lecture. It is so wonderful. And he answered 3 questions I've been asking the Christians. They cannot explain. How do you say that Christ is the only way? No one. Christ is the only way. No one can be delivered because Christ. And I was thinking, my grandfather did not know like Jesus Christ. And they died. Does it mean their life is wasted? Then they said that this is the only life. This is the only life. And I was thinking in my mind, how can this be the only life? Why are people so different? Why they know if this is the only life? Why don't they start from the same platform? Not everyone, when you want to run a race, you put everybody together in a line and run the race. Then you see who won. Now you are telling me, this is the only life. I didn't believe it. And all over the world, our ancestors, they are telling me, we have come from somewhere. This is not the beginning of our life. And the third thing is said, they always say that hell is forever. Hell is forever. Then God is wicked now. When I was born, I don't know God. And many people in that planet, they don't know God. So we are lost. Which kind of God is this that will bring me to this world? I commit some sin, and then I am language forever. Not 1 year, not 100 years, not million years, not which kind of God is that? So these are the 3 questions that were bothering my mind. And that very day, Bhakti Tirtha Swami delivered a lecture, he taught those 3 points. And he explained it very simple. I said, BC. So I just called my wife, come, I've seen where to go. This is why I come to Krishna Puja. I just go to where is the temple? They show it on the television, and I went there. That's how I started my devotional service. So he brought me to the movement, and actually it saved me from so many situations, saying gratification in my world, because I'm somebody who was after saying gratification. I married many wives and all that. I have many children. So somehow or the other, it saved me from that. And from that very year I started Krishna consciousness, I did not give birth to any child again. So it actually saved me, and I always remember in my life, if that's the only thing he saved me from, he have done so much for me. I don't know what I would have been without you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice, great. Acharya Brother Prabhupada. Thank you for your wonderful services. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj depended on you so much in the Benin temple, and of course, supporting the Dhira Yatra. So we are grateful for those wonderful services. Prabhu was talking about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's television and media preaching. I can say that that is one of his very, very specialized areas. Anywhere Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj will appear on television, on radio, he will captivate everybody. In Ghana, he did a program on the television. In those days, in the 80s, there was only one television station in the whole country. It was actually the government television station. And everyone was hooked to it. Everyone watched watched it because there were no other channels, only one channel. So when Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj presented Krishna consciousness on that channel, government channel, the president of the country saw it. And he was mesmerized. He was attracted. So he called the broadcasting house, and that program was shown on a Saturday. It's a religious program. So every Saturday they will bring a different religious program. But when he saw the program, the following Saturday, the head of state called the broadcasting house and said, that Hare Krishna program, repeat it. So it was repeated. And then the third Saturday, again, the call came from the presidency to the broadcasting, director of broadcasting, director of television. That Hare Krishna program repeated. So it was repeated a third time. So the Minister of Information, under which the broadcasting operates, he called the director of television and said, what is wrong with you? Why are you playing the Hare Krishna program again and again and again? Is that the only program you have in the studio? And the director of television said, your boss instructed me. He said, who is my boss? He said, the president. And he went silent. He could not say anything because he would lose his job. And that is how the president, after he saw the program 3 times, he sent somebody to the temple. Now he wanted to meet Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. At that time, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had left the country. So when his messenger came, we told him, sorry, he has gone. But next time he comes, we will let you know. So the following year, when Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj came, the presidency was informed that Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had come. He said, all right, I want you to come to my office. You should come to the presidency. I want to talk to him. So Maharaj arranged a team of devotees, and he took a set of Bhagavatam and some of Prabhupada's books, and then he went to meet the president. And they had a long chat. At the end of the chat, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj gifted him the Prabhupada's books, set of Bhagavatams, and some other books. And he was so happy to receive them. And then he told Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj that I have heard many lectures, I've seen many people, but your own presentation is very special. I've not met anybody as intelligent, eloquent, and dynamic like you. So I want you to become my personal advisor. And Maharaj said, sorry. I am a traveling monk. I travel all over the whole world preaching. I do not stay in one place. So if I accept this service, you'll be disappointed because I can't stay in Ghana. But you can take my email address. You can write me anytime. If you have issues and you want me to address, I can address them from anywhere. So that way, they connected. And until that president passed away, he was always friendly to the devotees. Wherever he was seeing the devotees, he would stop. And he had such a rapport with the devotees because of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So there are many stories I can tell you, but let's allow others to share their stories. So on this note, we'd like to invite His Holiness Bhakti Chandra Maharaj to say a few words. Bhakti Chandra Maharaj is one of the disciples of Bhakti Tirtha Swami. Maharaj comes from a French-speaking country. He's from Ivory Coast. Actually, he stands out because In the French-speaking countries, people are not interested in spiritual life. Their goal of life is sense gratification. When Maharaj, when he joined, from the very beginning he joined, he stood out. He was not interested in any sense gratification. As a brahmachari, and eventually Maharaj said, take sannyas. And so here he is, one of the sannyas disciples. Not only that, he's also an initiating spiritual master in West Africa and across the world. So we're happy to have you. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanam Timanadasa Jana Jana Shalakaya Takshominitam Tasma Shurave Namaha. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namini. Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Siddhartmane Shri Gaura Karuna Sakti Bhaktinamini. Hare Krishna everyone. So I got this inspiration from this morning Bhagavatam class when His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaja was saying that even Gurudev asked disciples to write letters. See, writing a letter is something very common. We are used to it. Writing a letter to our boyfriend, girlfriend, our uncle, our father is something very ordinary. But when you write a letter to the Supreme Lord, it means something else. Also, Gurudev, in one of his book, Spiritual Warrior, he talked about saying thank you. He said, these days, people does not know how to say thank you. Because he said, as spiritualists, we should always be in the spirit of thank you. As we interact with people, we should always think and say, thank you. Thank you for helping me to see my own envious nature. Thank you for helping me look closer at my own ego. Thank you for helping me look closer at my own selfishness. And he also said that in this Kali Yuga, this age, everything is increasing quickly. Everything is increasing. The only thing that everything is diminishing. Our intelligence, our qualities. The only thing that is increasing is our ankara, our false ego. So I say, when we do not genuinely say thank you in our lives, this ungrateful attitude will interfere with our spiritual growth. Sometimes we simply must come to such a level of gratitude that we can just say, thank you, the Lord, for allowing me to be sick and give me this opportunity to read more. Thank you for this opportunity to be more introspective. Thank you for giving me this chance to appreciate health and use it more efficiently when I have it. When someone criticizes us, we can thank them for helping us look closer at ourselves. When someone praises us, we can thank the Lord for showing us our big egos and thank Him for saying that it needs to be deflated. When we face dishonor, we can thank the Lord for keeping us humble and preventing us from relying entirely on our own abilities. We want to have gratitude towards the Lord, towards His representative, and towards everyone in our environment. We can even feel gratefulness for those who have fallen into Maya, for distinctly showing us what we want to avoid. People who constantly feel sad, depressed, anxious, and disturbed will rarely have a genuine sense of gratitude, even in spiritual communities. Such people only see the negative aspects of any situation due to low self-esteem, false ego, cynicism, or fault-finding mindsets. Consequently, they miss the basic, beautiful realities. When people just search for the fault, like a rat that just connects with an earthly and fitty situation, one, due to some of these negative mindsets, some people only look for the negative, and when they find it, they should they hold it onto they hold onto it tenaciously. Then people begin to wonder why they feel so unfulfilled and unhappy around others. So Gurudev was very conscious of developing qualities just than be a simple devotee. To be a devotee is one thing, but to develop the qualities of a devotee, we have 26 qualities of Vaishnavas. They're like dresses that we have to wear. So if we don't apply them in our life, then our spiritual life becomes something mechanical and very artificial. So Gurudev was very conscious of that. I remember one time, one devotee, I don't want to mention his name here, in West Africa, was giving a seminar on forgiveness. And Gurudev happened to arrive that day. So Gurudev asked him, you are giving seminar on this forgiveness. Meanwhile, yourself, you are beating your wife. You cannot even forgive your wife. So it's nonsense. Please stop it. So Gurudev he doesn't like being artificial. You need to be genuine humility, genuine forgiveness, everything genuine, not artificial. Because it's very easy to fake things, but you always make sure that whatever we do is pleasing him and pleasing Srila Prabhupada. So we really miss Gurudev because when he was on the planet, he said something that I always remember. Then when I will leave the planet, I will be even more closer to my disciple and my well-wishers. And we can feel it. And I have that experience that anytime before going to bed, in Africa, we know that Gurudev was mystic person. Anytime you have an issue, before going to bed, you pray to Gurudev. You will see that automatically the next day, that situation will be okay. Even sometimes, those days we didn't have Facebook and WhatsApp. But when you decide to write him about some situation, that day or during the week before you write or before you get the reply, the situation will be always clear. So Gurudev was really connecting with us mentally, not physically. So we learned this Vani consciousness long time ago. Nowadays, many devotees, many disciples, they are much conscious of Vapu relationship. But Vani relationship is very, very important. So right from the beginning, Gurudev taught us how to be connecting with the Guru, even the Guru is not around. So we are very much grateful that every year, everybody gather in the Mayapur and we celebrate this wonderful Vyasa Puja. And we pray that Gurudev keep on blessing us so that we continue to get connected to him because we are missing him. And the only way to get connected to him is to get attached to his books, his lectures. And as Prabhu Sevas was saying, his lectures are very captivating. And anytime I read the book, it's new. He has many, many things that he wrote in the books. So we have to take advantage of this book and get always connected to him. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami ki jai.